Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Jai Jai Prabhu. श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। 4128। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 4128। एको महेह भगवान विविध प्रधानैः। एको महेव भगवान विविध प्रधानैः। चित्तीकृता प्रजनया कथं नु चित्तीकृता प्रजननाय कथं नु यूयम्। चित्तीकृता प्रजनया कथनानुयूयम्। चित्तीकृता प्रजननाय कथं नु यूयम्। चित्तीकृता प्रजननाय कथं नु यूयम्। अत्रागतास्तनुभृतां मनसोऽपि दूरात्। अत्रागतास्तनुभृतां मनसोऽपि दूरात्। ब्रूत प्रसीदत महानिह विस्मयो मे। ब्रूत प्रसीदत महानिह विस्मयो मे। एको महेह भगवान विविध प्रधानैः। एको महेह भगवान विविध प्रधानैः। चित्तीकृता प्रजनयाय कथं नु यूयम्। चित्तीकृता प्रजननाय कथं नु यूयम्। अत्रागतस्तनुभृतां मनसोऽपि दूरात्। अत्रागतास्तनुभृतां मनसोऽपि दूरात्। द्रुता प्रसीदात मनः महान् इह विस्मयो मे। ब्रूत प्रसीदत महानिह विस्मयो मे। Eka, one, Maya, by me, Iha, here, Bhagavan, great personality, Vividha, various, Pradhanai, by paraphernalia, Chitti Kritaha, fixed in mind, Prajananaya, for begetting a child, Katham, why, Nu, however, Yuyam, all of you. atra, here, agataha, appeared, tanuvritam, of the embodied, manasaha, the minds, api, although, durat, from far beyond, bruta, kindly explain, kindly explain, prasidata, being merciful to me, mahan, very great, iha, this, vismayaha, doubt, may, of mine. Translation: I called for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, desiring a son like him, and I thought of him only. But although he is far beyond the material speculation of man, all three of you have come here. Kindly let me know how you have come, for I am greatly bewildered by this. Purport: Jai Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Atri Muni was confidently aware that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Lord of the universe, so he prayed for the one Supreme Lord. He was surprised, therefore, that three of them appeared. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Katamahyam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagratam Sagaragnatham Mitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parinasaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Savilalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanasthi Pranamami Hari Priya वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Mukham karoti vachalam, pangum langayate girim, yat kripa tamam bande, Shri Gurum Dinataranam, Paramanandam, Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. So, my humble obeisances, Vancha Kalpatarubhishcha, Kripa Sindhu Devacha, Paditanam Pavanibhyo, Vaishnavibhyo, Namo Namaha. वैष्णव चरण रेणु भूषण करिया तनु यह होइते अनुभव हो. So Narottam Das Thakur is saying that Vaishnava Charana Renu Bhushana Kuriyatanu, that by smearing the dust of the Vaishnavas on one's body, one gets anubhava, which means realization. So the purpose of coming to this Krishna conscious movement is actually to get realization, to get experience. So that's why Prabhupada mentions that Ataha Shri Krishna Namadi Navavet Grahyam Indriyai Sevanmuki Jivvado Swayam Eva Spurityada. So our whole Krishna conscious movement is based on realization, based on experience. So therefore, it is for a devotee, it is very important to understand that the most important thing, first of all, is to connect with the Lord in the heart. To connect, if we are finding it difficult to connect with the Lord in the heart, at least we can try to connect with the spiritual master who is eternally in our heart. And so by connecting, by praying, the whole purpose is Shri Radha Gopi Janavallabh Nitai Patavan Gaura Hari Jat Guru Srila Prabhupada. So the whole purpose is actually to please Krishna at every moment, to always please Krishna and to always hanker to please Krishna more and more. So here the translation reads, I called for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, desiring a son like him, and I thought of him only. So this is the sum and substance of our Krishna consciousness, is to always call for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. To always call for him. This is the way Ajamil called in a very offenseless and in a very desperate way, call for his presence, and desire him, think of him only. So I'll just speak a little bit on the verse and come back to what I was speaking. That it is very interesting that Atri Muni called for the Supreme Lord, but instead the Devatas came. So please forgive me if I speak beyond my qualifications, speak anything inappropriate. I'm simply speaking to simply His Grace Viruksha Prabhu, whatever he wants, his mood and his desire, and just hope that my words actually bring out his desire. So, and bring out whatever he would like to convey. I have no qualification. I seek his blessings. I seek the blessings of all the devotees. So, um, first important thing in bhakti is to understand what we want or what we are trying to achieve. So first we have to establish very clearly what we want to achieve in our heart, uh, and we should be attracted to that. That's very important. It should be something very exciting and something very inspiring in our heart, something that can give us shelter in a difficult period of time. That's very good actually for us. I mean, especially when we're in provoking situations, that time we can actually assess our faith, assess our sacrifice, assess our dedication, assess our determination, and actually see, test how much we're attracted to the service of Krishna. So, Jai Shri Shri Radha Gopi Janavalabh Nitai Bhagavan Guru Jai Guru Prabhupada Ki Jai. So that's a very good time to actually assess how much faith we have, how much determination we have, and um, and how much we're attracted to the goal. So keeping the goal and understanding the goal, first of all, is very important. After coming to Krishna consciousness for some time, for some years, if we don't have the goal of our life very clear in our mind, then how will we attain that goal? And how would we make sacrifices? Um, we can only make sacrifices to the extent that we are attracted to that goal. Of course, that attraction may not always stay the same, but as long as we have developed enough attraction so that we can make sacrifice, like Prabhupada says, deserve before you desire. And then Prabhupada said, what does it mean to deserve before you desire? Prabhupada says that means that you don't have any other desire. Or in other words, you don't have any bigger desires. We may have I have so many material desires, but because I'm able to at least um, in my mind fix up the fact that this desire to serve Krishna and to give pleasure to Krishna is much more than the other desires. So therefore, I can desire to attain the lotus feet of Krishna. So this desire is very important, This attraction to the goal is very, very important in our spiritual life. It's very, very important. And that's why Srila Prabhupada gave us books like Nectar of Instruction and asked us to read books like Nectar of Instruction, asked us to read from the 8th to the 12th verse, even though it's far beyond, it cannot even be fathomed. It's a very high stage. Actually, the even the 8th verse of Nectar of Instruction in its full-blown supremacy is actually achieved at a very high stage called Ruchi. Ruchi is a very high stage. Why? Because at the stage of Ruchi, one's mind is forcefully attracted to the service of Krishna, to the thoughts of Krishna, to the pastimes of Krishna. So, in the initial stage of Anathanivritti, like myself, we're forcing the mind to always think of the Lord and think of the pleasure of the Lord and the Lord's uh, pure devotees. But at the stage of Ruchi, the Lord forcefully enters the mind of the devotee. And as Rupa Goswami mentions, that Tunde Tandavani Vitante, that the Lord um, completely Cheta Prangara Sangini. Vijayate Sarvendriyanam Kriti. So all the senses are subdued, and actually the Lord forcefully dances on the tongue of the devotee. So that's how powerful the stage of Ruchi is and how attractive it is. So the 8th to the 12th verse, culminating in Sri Radha Kund, is actually the highest spiritual achievement, and it's a very high stage of devotional service. But why did Srila Prabhupada ask us to read these verses? Why did Prabhupada give us Krishna book? Why did Prabhupada give us the deity of Krishna, give us the deity of Srimati Radharani? Why? Why did Prabhupada speak about Vrindavan? Why did Prabhupada um, give us so many valuable jewels so that we can become attracted, so that we can understand what is the goal, and so that we can develop deep desire, deep inspiration to attain that goal. Uh, and only if we develop a certain level of attraction, a certain level of greed for that, to whatever small extent, only then can we constantly take shelter of that attraction, of that inspiration, and walk the path of Krishna consciousness. So, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, first of all, we have to know who He is. Uh, and we have to develop deep faith in the process of Abhideya. So, only if we understand Prayojan, we understand what is the goal. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, um, Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. So, the goal of bhakti, which is Krishna Prema, the personification of that Krishna Prema is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu understood that it's very difficult for us to fathom the pastimes of Krishna, to experience the pastimes of Krishna. And therefore, Mahaprabhu very mercifully, he came. Like just now I was singing a bhajan that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to personify, to represent what goes on between Krishna and Krishna's dearmost devotees in Golok Vrindavan. So Mahaprabhu personifies that. And when we become attracted to Lord Chaitanya, then we actually understand, we experience through the Sankirtan movement, through the chanting of the holy names. So, by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and especially Nityananda Prabhu, we have some kind of experience, some kind of interest. Sripad Prabhu says that we won't be attracted to something unless we are a little interested, or we won't be a little interested in something unless we are a little attracted. So once we fix up the goal very, very seriously and very sincerely in the core of our heart, then what happens? Then we understand what is not favorable to attain that goal. Because everything in Krishna consciousness is a person. Like the holy name is also a person. That's why you say Nam Prabhu. Bhagavatam is also a personality. Grantha Bhagavat. So all these are personalities. All everything is living. So when we fix up the goal very seriously and sincerely in our heart, then that goal will reciprocate with us. That goal will communicate with us. And when we are going off track, when we are not um, going towards the goal, we will get some inspiration within our heart. So that's why the path of bhakti is about prayer, about prayer. So should fix up the goal very clearly in our heart, and we should associate with persons, with pure devotees who represent that goal, whose life and soul is that goal. And we should become deeply attached to such devotees who have the same goal as us. This will nourish our intense desire to attain that goal. So, like for example, on days like Janmashtami, on days like Ekadasi, on days like Narsing Chaturdasi, what we have to do is we have to deeply cultivate that. We have to pray to Krishna. We have to pray to Lord Chaitanya that I want to attain this goal in my life. I want to attain love for Krishna in my life. And there is like so many obstacles between me and the desire. But please give me the intelligence. Bhajatam Preeti Purvakam. Please give me the intelligence how I can attain that goal, how I can love you. Why? Because by attaining that goal, manyate nadikam tataha. Bhagavad Gita is mentioned for one who actually makes a little progress towards that goal, that supreme goal of Krishna consciousness, there is nothing higher that can be attained. Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj says that by pleasing Guru and Krishna, we will get unlimited pleasure. We will get so much happiness. And if you taste that happiness, taste that bliss of Krishna consciousness, even to some degree, then you forget all the sufferings, you forget all the austerities, all the difficulties you went through to attain that goal. And then you feel in your heart that, wow, it was really worth it. It was really worth it. And this is not something that is just attained at the stage of perfection. Even the small reciprocations that we get, we become ecstatic in kirtan, we get some thought of some pastime in kirtan, we become attracted to a devotee, we can have some experience of the deity, something that day to day, that is Krishna's way of uh, soothing our heart and convincing us practically that yes, it is worth it. The 2 hours of japa is worth it. The hours of deity worship is worth it. Everything is completely worth it. So Krishna actually convinces us through those experiences. And how do those experiences come? Those experiences come by the mercy of the devotees. So when we are situated amongst exalted devotees, then what happens is that we get these experiences, we get this happiness in our spiritual life. So anyhow, so this is very important to fix up the goal, and then the next stage comes how to actually um, attain the goal, to study the process of how to attain the goal. So then it comes very important, like uh, books like Madhurya Kadambini is very important to help us to understand what are the different types of anarthas, what are the different types of impediments, how do we overcome. So, see, to the extent that we become enthusiastic and attracted to the goal of Krishna consciousness, to that extent, we will have the enthusiasm and the determination to overcome the anarthas. So the main way to overcome anarthas is actually desire. The most important thing is actually desire, because to the proportion that we have a desire, deep, intense desire, Krishna will give us intelligence on how to overcome the obstacles. Again, dadami buddhi yogam tam. Ye yatham mam prapadyate tam stataiva bhajami. So, to the extent that we surrendering to the goal of Krishna consciousness, to that extent, we can perform Krishna consciousness bhajan with preeti, with love. And then, to the extent that we are able to execute our devotional service with love and affection, to that extent, we will get intelligence, transcendental intelligence on how, on what to do and what not to do. So here, Atri Muni had a vague idea, did not have a clear conception. So that's why it's very important for us to hear from pure devotees about why Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhupada spent so much time explaining why Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why? Because unless it is very clear to us why Krishna is supreme in all respects, we won't acquire that intense faith to actually pursue the goal of Krishna consciousness. So, coming back to what we were discussing, so although he is far beyond the mental speculation of man, so this is another very important point, that only when we hear from Srila Prabhupada, our doubts will be dispelled. Because why do we speculate? Because we have doubts. We have doubts. Actually, the mind is not the problem. Speculation is not the problem. The problem is a lack of complete faith. So when we have complete faith in the words of Srila Prabhupada, when we experience the words of Srila Prabhupada coming true in our life, then we put more and more faith. When you put more and more faith, then you acquire this kind of mentality that I don't have to mentally speculate or imagine or or think what I should do. I just need to follow what Prabhupada says. Actually, this is very important, because if we attain full faith in Prabhupada, when we hear Prabhupada speaking, we will fully accept not only what Prabhupada is saying, but we'll purchase the mood in which Prabhupada is saying. How Prabhupada is saying. When Prabhupada is speaking with so much enthusiasm, with so much confidence, Prabhupada is speaking. Like yesterday, I was hearing that Prabhupada is saying that you are not experiencing happiness, you're not experiencing the effect of chanting Hare Krishna because you're not taking the medicine properly. If you take the medicine properly, then Prabhupada says Maya cannot touch you. So this is a very powerful statement, very powerful statement. If we can accept fully that Prabhupada says, yes, really, Maya cannot touch me, then we will question that, yes, that means I'm not chanting Hare Krishna properly. And then Krishna from within our heart will reveal to us what we are not doing correctly or what we can do correctly, what we can do more. Because in bhakti, we can improve to an unlimited extent. So, anyway, coming back to the point, so it's very important for us to have a clear conception on what we should attain, how we should attain. And we need to study the examples of persons who have attained also. Persons in our movement who have attained. What did they do? How did they conduct their life? So the first important quality in bhakti is intense humility. That's the first important aspect of bhakti, intense humility. So there are many songs of our acharyas speaking about intense humility. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has a song, Amar Jivan. So that speaks about how the conditioned soul is disqualified in so many ways. So that is very important, very important. So the first thing is humility. And then with that humility, naturally, it's possible to realize uh, how I am so weak. So if I am very weak, then I need to take shelter of someone who is strong. So then comes in our heart uh, the intense desire for association. Intense desire for association. So when we have intense desire of association, Srila Gauravan Maharaj says that when we surrender with that humility, then we can actually take association very seriously, because association is very, very powerful, extremely powerful. And the most incredible thing about association is that association happens in so many ways. It's not just when we hear, but so many ways. Like Krishna through Bhagavatam, through the beatback, through the devotees, um, through the deity. So many ways Krishna is constantly giving us association. So when we are humble, then we can take that association. Like His Grace Jayananda Prabhu's disciplinary is coming up very soon. So Jayananda Prabhu personified this intense enthusiasm. He was like a volcano of enthusiasm. Like one new person came to the temple, and new person came to the temple, and he wanted to meet the temple president. Mm. So Jayananda Prabhu introduced himself as, I am the garbage man. I take out the garbage. But as he was taking out the garbage, he was so much enthusiastic, so happy, so happy. So this person became so attracted. And then when he came to know he's a temple president, he joined. He joined. So uh, in order to be enthusiastic in bhakti, one has to be very, very humble. One has to be very humble. Janan Prabhu is such a great personality. Actually, even when he actually had was severely ill in the last days of his life, he was in so much pain. But he would actually put Prabhupada's picture on the bed and he would lie on the ground. So that was how much love he had for Srila Prabhupada. Mm. That's how attractive Srila Prabhupada is. And we are so fortunate that we have such a Srila Prabhupada in our life, such a Guru Varga in our life. So first thing is humility, then association. Association. Um, and then on the basis of that association, then comes the sadhana. Then comes sadhana. So then we get the intelligence how to perform sadhana, different ways to perform sadhana, different ways to render seva. And by that seva and sadhana, slowly, slowly we get experiences, we get realization. So bhakti is a constant process. It's a constant active process of finding what Krishna wants from me right now. Of course, I'm not speaking about the external aspects. I'm not speaking about the service. I'm speaking about the mood. Speaking about the mood. Because we have to remember that our progress in bhakti is not based on our karma, is not based on anything material. It's based on Krishna's mercy. So Krishna's mercy is what prompts us to make advancement. So since we know that nothing material governs our advancement, and we know that it is a challenge. Krishna consciousness is like a challenge, a constant challenge for us to make further and further and further progress. So by constantly praying and by living amongst the devotees, by maintaining a good relationship amongst the devotees, we can get the correct inspiration. Yesterday was actually the appearance of Janava Mata, who is a very, very important personality in Sampradaya, because Janava Mata is the internal potency of Nityananda Prabhu. And the Janava Mata, her life is so exemplary, because of many things about her which are very, very special, but something that is very inspiring uh, is actually her service to the devotees. So she, in the famous Kheturi festival organized by Narottam Thakur Srinivasacharya, to commemorate, to celebrate the first appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu after Mahaprabhu left this world, Janava Mata played a very, very important role, because Janava Mata, she actually, by her glance, she actually inundated the heart of Narottam Das Thakur with special Shakti. And as a result of that Shakti, Narottam Das Thakur's Kirtan was such a ecstatic, special kind of Kirtan that actually um, attracted the appearance of the Panchtattva amidst all the devotees. Normally, when we say these kind of things, normally if someone's devotion is very high, then that person will only have vision. That person will only see, others will not see. But in this case, Narottam Das Thakur attracted Panchtattva in such a way that everyone saw them. Everyone saw them. Everyone in that festival saw them, and it is explained in our uh, Bhakti Ratnakar and Prem Vilas, that how everyone they started crying so much that tears actually uh, completely soaked the ground, soaked the mud. So that is the power of mercy. Mercy is something that comes out of its own cause. And that's mercy is what we're looking for at every point in our life. At every point in our life, our only goal is that whatever we do, whatever we speak, however we act, it attracts mercy. It attracts mercy. Or mercy means pleasure. It gives pleasure to Supreme Lord, gives pleasure to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this mercy is the most important thing. It's the most important thing. So to the extent that we can please Guru and Gauranga in our daily life, to that extent we can lead our spiritual life. We can progress. So many examples are there of how to live in such a way to constantly attract the mercy of Guru, of the pure devotees of the Lord. Because we should remember that the pure devotees of the Lord, they are always present. They're always present and they're always watching. They're always looking to see uh, how much we are trying to come to the platform of pure devotion. And then when we come to the platform of pure devotion, then the more we come closer and closer, we will get more and more and more and more help, more and more and more mercy from so many different persons, from so many, like Avadut Brahmana, Avanti Brahmana is a famous example from Srimad Bhagavatam, that he even accepted the snake, even accepted the mountain as his guru. So that is called mercy. That is called real mercy when one acquires that kind of vision. So many examples of there are there, but as I explained, Janava Mata personified Vaishnav Seva. She cooked for all the devotees in that yatra, in that Ketur yatra. And why does she need to cook? She is the internal potency of Lord Nityananda. She doesn't need to do that. But why she personally cooked? Like it's said that Mother Yashoda personally cooks for Krishna, even though she has so many servants. Um, Mother Sachi Devi, she cooks for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mother Lakshmi is very important. Mother Lakshmi, she sweeps the floor of Vaikuntha, even though there is no dirt, there is no dust. Why? Simply to attract the pleasure of Narayan. So it's very important to meditate on this point that our service is not meant for any external purpose, but our service is meant to attract the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. So Janava Mata, she personally served all the Vaishnavas. This Vaishnav Seva, I will conclude with this. This Vaishnav Seva is our only hope. What does Vaishnav Seva mean? Vaishnav Seva means with mind, body, and words is to please the devotees. Is to please the devotees. So, of course, the personification of there's so many personifications of Vaishnav Seva. First, the mood of Vaishnav Seva, the mood of how much honor we should give to a devotee. The personification is Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur is Namacharya, and he is the personification of the mood of Vaishnav Seva. How, even though he was chanting 192 rounds, he thought himself completely unqualified to go to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Gambhira, and he would roll in the dust of any devotee who would come out of Gambhira. He would roll in their dust and beg for their mercy, as if he is like nothing in front of them, nothing in front of them. And Mahaprabhu would start crying, and Mahaprabhu would say, Haridas, my heart is breaking, my heart is breaking, please don't do this. And Haridas Thakur would not stop. And this is personification of Vaishnav Seva. So that's the mood of Vaishnav Seva. And then the intelligence of how to execute Vaishnav Seva, how to manage Vaishnav Seva is actually Shivananda Sen. Of course, Shivananda Sen's mood is also equal on the same way. But how he took care of so many devotees for so many months, when they come to see Lord Shivananda Sen never complained that it's so difficult to arrange. I don't know. I go to the village. I don't know in whose home we will stay. I don't know how I'll satisfy that person. Like, just think about it. If you call someone and say that, okay, take care of these 10 devotees, give them breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What will that person say? No, I have to work. I have so many things. So how he managed, how he satisfied those people, how he convinced those devotees to serve. It's not easy. And he did that year after year after year. Intelligence, transcendental intelligence, and tolerance. To serve devotees, you need great tolerance. Right? When Nityananda Prabhu kicked him, he was so blissful. He was so blissful. What to speak of tolerant? He was so blissful. That did not disturb his service. Generally, sometimes in the mood of serving devotees, if something happens, we become disturbed. And that impedes our enthusiasm in the service. I mean, speaking about myself. And lastly, of course, the mood and the arrangement. Lastly, is the ultimate personification of Vaishnav Seva is, I mean, is Srila Prabhupada. Because yesterday I was hearing Srila Gauranga Maharaj say, I'm just glorifying Prabhupada through this. Maharaj was saying that a pure devotee, he has absolute love for Krishna. And he has absolute love for Krishna, therefore he loves everyone else. And then Maharaj said that it's not a one-sided thing, it's a two-sided thing. Because he loves everyone else, everyone loves him, and just by them loving him, so much auspiciousness is created. So Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada has been serving, was serving, will continue to serve devotees for eternity, by the love that is constantly radiating. And that is the ultimate Vaishnav Seva of Srila Prabhupada, that Prabhupada gives the living entities in this age of Kali the experience of what it means to love Krishna, the experience of what it means to be attracted to Krishna. From someone as fallen as myself, who is in Annamaya, the lowest state of consciousness, Prabhupada has the potency to pick up that soul and elevate him, at least for a few seconds, few minutes, to a higher state of consciousness to understand. Because unless we experience and we understand to some minute degree what it means to be attracted to Krishna, we cannot pursue this path of Krishna consciousness. So that is the ultimate Vaishnav Seva, is to elevate the consciousness, is to transform the heart. And that's what Srila Prabhupada and Prabhupada's pure representatives have been doing. And that is the highest thing, that is the highest service we can do to this movement, is to inspire others by our own personal example, by our own consciousness, that how we can practice this process. So that is the greatest, and that is the greatest Vaishnav Seva. And that Vaishnav Seva, that kind of Vaishnav Seva is most inspiring things. Like Mahaprabhu said, that the highest kind of devotee is one just by seeing him, you think of Krishna. And it's not by fluke, it's not by accident. It's because that devotee is constantly thinking of Krishna, is constantly serving Krishna throughout his life. He's constantly doing that, he's constantly meditating on that throughout his life. And that's why just by seeing him, people become so inspired, people become so dedicated. And of course, Srila Prabhupada did that. And that's why sometimes we say, oh, this guru gave this flower, this guru gave blessing, this guru just looked at me. Why it is so valuable? Because they immediately inspire that kind of dedication. Because if we acquire that intense surrender to Krishna's lotus feet, ऐनन्दतनुजा किङ्करं पतितं मां विषमे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कजस्थितधूलिसदृशं सदृशं विचिन्तया. So acquire this mood to become a speck of dust at the lotus feet of Krishna. That itself will give us so much happiness, so much satisfaction, so much shelter. So this is what I wanted to speak today. Anyone has any question or comment? Please forgive me if I spoke anything beyond my qualification or spoke anything offensive. Vanchakalpatarubhishya kripa sindhu bhyevacha patitaram bhavanti Vaishnava Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Um, many deeper insights you shared today, bro. I just had one question on one of the aspect you shared, specifically when you talked about by Vaishnava's mercy. Sometimes one get some glimpse of mercy of Krishna. I had one question on that. Um, and I'm just picking this example, like for sugar canes to grow, the drizzling is not sufficient to just moisten the land, but it has to actually have large showers. So sometimes when someone is eagerly waiting for that unlimited mercy, though these symptoms, these reciprocation may appear from Krishna, but they doesn't satisfy the heart. It feels like I really want the torrents of rain rather than just drizzling. How can one actually aspire to get that? What should that person do to get that rather than having just the drizzles?
Yeah, Muji. Actually, I'll just read. Today morning, I was reading a purport by Prabhupada just for 1 2 minutes. I just reading this purport. This is solution to answer to all questions, basically. Okay, so here is the answer. This is for myself. One who is unable to live for a moment without Krishna consciousness cannot but think of Krishna 24 hours a day. Being engaged in devotional service by hearing, chanting, remembering, offering prayers, worshipping, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, rendering other services, cultivating friendship, and surrendering fully to the Lord. Such activities are all auspicious and full of spiritual potencies which make the devotee perfect in self-realization, so that his only desire is to achieve the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a devotee undoubtedly approaches the Lord without difficulty. This is called yoga. By the mercy of the Lord, such a devotee never comes back to this material condition of life. So, I mean, speaking about myself, that if I ask myself the question that why I'm not getting enough mercy, then answer is very simple, which comes in my heart. That first is I'm not serious enough, and second is I am not careful to avoid the things which are not conducive for my bhakti. I'm somewhere I'm making a compromise. I'm thinking it is okay. It is okay. That is where the problem is. The compromising. And then when we hear, sometimes if we hear uh, some things, heavy statement from devotees, then immediately our mind switches off, saying that, yeah, it's impractical. It's not practical. Um, I need to sleep, I need to eat, I need to do this, I need to do that. So what I feel is that in bhakti, nothing's by accident. We all, I mean, speak for myself, I always get more than what I deserve. So if there is some problem in the experience, I speak for myself only here, and you're all very, very exalted. Speaking about myself only, it's because of the lack of my sincerity. My sincerity is lacking, and especially things which are not good for my bhakti, I'm not throwing them away. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that when we see something unfavorable to our bhakti, we should immediately throw it away. Immediately. If we think that let me wait, then you will never achieve mercy. So, of course, I mean the ultimate shower of mercy, I mean great mercy that requires that's not easy. But I'm saying that when we have the proper mood and we are very sincere and very eager, then yes, definitely we will feel like yes, lot of mercy is coming. We'll definitely feel that. And if mercy is not coming, as a Pandita, mercy is not coming, then we will become very intense. I mean, you are very intense, but we will become very, very intense in our bhakti, and that intensity itself will give us so much pleasure. That intensity will give us so much enthusiasm. Just that struggle will be so inspiring to us. And if we are not inspired, devotees will say, will give us a lot of encouragement. Wow, Prabhu, you are becoming so ecstatic or because you are so serious. And it's not just an appreciation, just a kind of a massaging of their false ego, but that encouragement of devotees will lift us, and will lift us to the faith that yes, Krishna is reciprocating. So, so
Thank you, Broji. Basically, if I have to take it for myself, I should avoid cutting corners. Just focus on that and then try to be more sincere.
yeah, basically, as we advance being for myself, Krishna wants more and more surrender. The surrender that, or the things that Krishna wanted to give up earlier, doesn't that will not satisfy Krishna now. Krishna wants more as we advance in bhakti. So we have to analyze. Would you like to add anything?
Thank you.
Yeah, would. No, I just said Guruji that first thing is sincerity in following sadhana and seva. And second thing I said is that, yeah, compromising things that we should give up, we're not giving up, things that we should avoid, we're not avoiding. And then I said, finally, I said that even if you are struggling, that struggle will be very inspiring. I mean, that struggle will be very inspiring to yourself because Krishna is very happy with your struggle. And if you fail to become inspired even when you're struggling, devotees will encourage. Because when devotees see that someone is sincerely struggling for the mercy, the devotees will say, yes, Guru, it's very interesting. Anyone else has any question or comment?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat
Right.
Pranam. Prabhuji, just like right now you said that if we are not receiving mercy, means we are not serious in our sadhana. So what happens, Prabhuji? As soon we try to become serious in our sadhana, we try to do everything what pleases for the Krishna and Radharani. The Maya attacks in the form of the social conditioning, and some relatives, your friends and circle that see you are not eating at a place, and like this, so many things. So, how to deal with all these circumstances, Prabhuji?
Yeah, I mean, not qualified to say, but um, but you would like to answer, Bhuji? The question is that when we try to improve our sadhana, then Maya attacks in so many ways, in the form of negative association. So that's the question. Only one. Sorry. Yeah, my humble understanding is that yes, I am struggling myself, and what I feel is that yeah, many things are an obstacle to having good sadhana. Of course, uh, sadhana does not just refer to only one's chanting. Or when I speak about sadhana, it refers to the whole mentality of performing bhakti. So it's a whole mentality. And yeah, in regards to association, if you're asking specifically about association, then yeah, we have to be very politely politely harsh. Politely harsh means that we have to keep people at their boundary. Be like, yeah, I'm sorry. I respect you. I respect whatever your relative or whatever. But I am following the process to attain perfection. I am following. So, I basically we have to be polite, but we have to be strong. We have to be firm. Because if we allow people to control us, we allow situations to control us, then we are, you know, unnecessarily we're unnecessarily inviting trouble. So yeah, we have to be a little strong. We have to be strong, we have to be polite, but we have to be strong about association. Otherwise, if we are let people enter our lives and cross that boundary, then yeah, then we are just inviting trouble. Especially in regard to like relatives and all these social things. Because the thing is the time we have is limited. The resources we have also to some extent is limited. Like we cannot chant, we cannot read, we cannot do deity worship at the same time, right? So yeah, we have to be strict. And the best way to be strict is, I mean, I like this very much, that just reduce your frequency of communication with them. They will understand. They will
Mm.
understand. See, like so many parents of brahmacharis, I mean, I know brahmacharis are a little kind of extreme, but bhakti is extreme anyways, right? Bhakti is not like Radheshyam Prabhu says that bhakti means to become very intense. So once you start cutting your communication and making it only what is required, on one hand, your relatives may criticize you, but on the other hand, they'll appreciate also that oh, this person is so strict.
Mm. Yes, Prabhuji. But yes, this is happening with me. Like, miss, I'm trying to minimize the communication, but again, that also bothers them. So why?
That's okay. Let it bother them. See, you don't have to worry about convincing them. Krishna will take care of that. You worry about your sincerity, your seriousness, and automatically Krishna will convince them. Because what will happen as you intensify your bhakti, from within the heart, Krishna will convey that to them. Hey, this person is coming closer to me. So they will realize, they will take some time, they will understand this person is serious for Krishna. So immediately they develop respect, right? Like, for example, right, relatives will not criticize sannyasis. Why? Because they understand this person is very, and they will say, oh, shouldn't disturb. Like, recently, his case, Gopal, his own is Gopal Krishna Maharaj, is an amazing example. So he went to a golf course. His case, Nitai, Nitya Krishna Prabhu was sharing online, I was sharing. So he went to a golf course and he, like, he's a Prabhupada. So he went, he saw them. He told loud and said, they are fishing, these God's people are fishing, one day they will be fished. Nitya Krishna Prabhu was like, Guru Maharaj, they are hearing. So then Maharaj said, told some brahmacharis, go and preach to them. So one brahmacharis came and spoke to them, and when they came back, Maharaj said, what did they say? They said they are apologizing to Maharaj that we're sorry if we disturbed your Guru. So if you are very serious, over a period of time, they will understand. Of course, we don't need to be harsh, but yeah, we have to stick to the principle. This will take them closer to bhakti, even though it may appear that they're going far away. See, be kind, be respectful to them, but yeah, I mean, be firm.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving that faith that Krishna will convey the appropriate message to
And
them.
this is my practical experience also. Experience also. Like, yeah, in my life also, I saw that change in my family members over a period of time. That means that everyone is connected, everything is connected.
Correct. Thank you so much,
Like
Prabhuji.
sometimes now, if my conscience is good, I speak to my parents. Even one, two lines, they become so happy. Why? Because Krishna is happy, na? Krishna is happy, right? So that is the thing. But
Prabhuji,
sometimes Krishna tests us also a little bit to see how much faith we have in Krishna tests. But yeah.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Dhanotram, Prabhuji. Can I add some more on this Mataji question, Prabhuji?
Please.
So Mataji, don't worry anything, okay? Just chant, because in my personal experience, so-called relatives, friends, before I came to Krishna consciousness, I was like a social guy. So many friends, so many relatives, entertainment. The more you intense, everybody will go out. Do not criticize anybody. Don't argue with anybody. Automatically, they will not talk to you. They will go out because of bhakti power. Okay? Don't think too much. Somebody's talking, somebody's not talking, the old friend, the relative is not talking or criticizing. Just keep continue. Faith on Krishna, faith on Guru, faith on devotees. And one fine day, the only friends you will have, whether you believe it or not, only devotees. Only devotees you will have friends. That's it. No other people come in your life. This is my personal experience. Okay, sometimes you feel lonely because you are losing all your so-called material friends, but everybody will out. Krishna will put them out one by one. So do not criticize anybody, just follow. That's it. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Okay, it's very late. Please forgive me. Yeah, once again, see some comment. Please forgive me. Vancha kalpataru.